Welcome to this presentation on surviving as a manager, or how to look after yourself and why. Being a manager is a challenging role. We're responsible for looking after our staff, our patients, our particular areas of work, and the different strands or targets that we may have, as well as the challenges in our own lives, such as looking after dependents, pets, friends, and other loved ones. How often do we put ourselves at the bottom of the list of those that we look after? Hello, I'm Steph, and I'm a member of the NUH Staff Wellbeing team. I'm going to be spending the next 10 minutes sharing why it's important to think about our own wellbeing as managers, as well as sharing some ideas on how you might do this and where you can access support. A fundamental part of doing our job well as a manager is looking after ourselves. It's easy to overlook this, and we often think that it feels selfish to focus on ourselves. But by looking after ourselves first, we can build the resilience and capacity to respond better to others and to perform our jobs well. Most of us will have been on a plane at some point and heard the safety briefing. Put on your own oxygen mask first before helping others. Being a manager can be tough, so think of your well-being as your oxygen mask. Whilst it won't make the problems go away, and it won't stop them from happening, it will help to shape how we respond to them and how well that we recover off. Most of us will have heard of mindfulness, although it may often feel more like we have full minds. In simple terms, mindfulness means being more consciously present, stepping off autopilot. There are a variety of ways that you can use mindfulness as a manager, but I'd like to suggest just 3. The first one is to focus on one thing at a time. Being a single tasker helps us to concentrate more fully on that task and to avoid distractions. It's estimated that it takes around 25 minutes to refocus on a task when we get distracted. Think about turning off your emails or phone when doing larger tasks so that you don't get tempted to answer or to look at them as soon as notifications come in. The second one is to practice gratitude exercises. As humans, we naturally tend to focus on the negative, which means we often miss out on the more positive cues in life which tell us that things are okay. Think of times when you've had dealings with one difficult person in a team. All of our attention goes on that person and we don't notice the 10, 25 or however many others there are who are really great to work with as much. Being aware of those things that we are grateful for has been shown to change some of our neural pathways, helping us to continue to be more mindful and positive. Simple exercises are keeping a gratitude diary and writing down just 3 things a day that you feel grateful for. Even simple things like a really nice cuppa, a beautiful sunset, or someone smiling at you can make a difference. And finally, the third one is being aware of your own internal voice and trying to speak more compassionately to yourself. We often tend to be quite critical of ourselves, but if it was someone else saying that to you, would you say the same thing to them? Think about what you would say to someone else and practice using that compassion on yourself. This model is one that you might be able to remember, given that it features pies. This is a well-used model in difficult situations and has been used quite extensively by the Army and other military forces as they've tried to recover from difficult situations. But it can be really useful in terms of how we think about ourselves and how we deal with difficult situations. So the P stands for proximity. Sometimes we need a break and to be away from the situation that's causing us difficulties. But being away from that situation for any length of time can make it harder, like making you feel people are talking about you or feel guilty. So perhaps if you find yourself in that situation, why not think about if there's something else that you could do differently that's still contributing. The I stands for immediacy, that nip it in the bud approach. Don't wait for something to become bigger or worse. Talk to someone about your worries or your feelings and ask for support. The E stands for expectancy. It's normal to feel upset, anxious, worried or scared in a lot of the situations that we might find ourselves in, particularly working in a hospital or sometimes just in our role as a manager. It's to be expected. Remember this. It doesn't mean that you can't do your job. And finally, simplicity. It doesn't have to be something big or complicated that we do when we find ourselves struggling. Consider things like having a short break, having a drink, something to eat, a shower, a sleep or some kind of rest, or connecting with a friend or a family member. Looking after our physical health is an important and often overlooked part of looking after our mental well-being. Don't forget to take care of your basic needs, such as eating well, being active, even if it's just for a short walk, having breaks at work, either during the working shift or having longer breaks, such as using your annual leave, even when you can't go away anywhere. Make sleep an important part of your life, as this goes a long way to building your resilience and helping you to cope with the challenges that life throws at you. Consider how you can do these things each day by building in routines, such as bringing in healthier snacks or leftovers from the previous day, so that you know you always have something decent to eat. Set yourself a bedtime routine to help get the best sleep that you can. Think about simple ways in which you can add activity into your day, such as taking the stairs where possible. Even going down a flight of stairs will be helpful. Remember to include non-work activities so that work is not your entire focus. Think about what you enjoy doing, or perhaps try new things. Connecting with other people also plays a big part, even if it's just a short text message or sending a short handwritten note. All of these can help. Most importantly, though, is to remember that it's okay to ask for help. It doesn't mean that we're failures or that we're not able to do our jobs, nor does it mean that we are weak managers. We all need some support from time to time. Remember that expectancy. It's a normal response to difficult situations or things that we don't know. There's a wide range of support available through the Staff Wellbeing Programme at NUH, with initiatives to help you look after your physical well-being, sessions that help support your mental health and how you cope with stress, and how you deal with the emotional difficulties in working in a healthcare setting. We also have a range of other teams that help support, such as our staff physio, and our chaplaincy team are always available to provide a listening ear to all staff of any faith or none. We also have a number of external agencies who help support wellbeing, for example Neighbour, who provide a range of financial wellbeing services for our staff. Plus, there's a wide range of additional support being provided as a result of the current COVID-19 situation. There are a number of national support lines available, as well as some local regional ones, and these are being added to all of the time. There are also a number of wellbeing apps that you can currently get for free as part of the support that's being provided to NHS staff, and we'd really encourage you to have a look at all of these. One of the most important sources of support that we provide at NUH is our Employee Assistance Programme, which is provided by Health Assured. This service is available 24/7 and can be accessed on the free phone number which is on the screen. It isn't just for work though, it provides support, advice and information for any area of concern that might be happening in your life, whether that's work or outside of work. The service is completely confidential. The only information that we get as a trust is how many people have rung, so there is absolutely no way in which we can identify any individual member of staff who uses the service. So you can be confident of using it without any of that information getting back to your employer. As well as the telephone helpline, they can also provide access to counselling, and this can be face-to-face when it's safe to do so, as well as telephone or online counselling. There's also an online portal which has got lots of lifestyle advice and information that can help you work out how best to look after your own health. Plus, they have a manager's helpline which is aimed specifically at helping you in your role as a manager. So this has just given you a short summary of why it's important for you to look after your health and why you should prioritise your well-being. So remember, your well-being is important too, so make time to look after you. And thanks for listening.